All right, good morning. Today we are going to build a bench. I want a big roll-around bench to fit underneath there. Well, either one of these spots, but that bench right there is incredibly flimsy. It comes in handy a little bit, but I want something big that I can beat on. I have some huge casters for it, big 4-inch swivels, and I have a 1/2-inch plate I want to put on top of it to use sort of like an anvil. So I was digging through the other side of the garage and found some 4x6s I'm going to use for legs. I found some cabinet grade 3/4 that I want to use for the top, and probably a lower shelf so I can put heavy things on there, and 2x6s I want to use to frame it all in so I can hang extension cords, my clamps, anything on that. But I want something big that I can put away and I can pull back out. So I'll get some measurements and we will get to work. Okay, I figured out my height I want for my legs, minus the height of the casters and minus the top, which would be probably just one layer of 3/4, but I left myself a little bit of play there. I've got the ends of these trued up, and I can get all 4 legs out of these, so now I'll go ahead and make those cuts. Now I'm just winging it here. I don't have any plans or anything. I have some rough measurements. I need to get my top figured out, and I think I want to overhang it like I did with my workbench in case I need to clamp something on the end. So that's roughly 20 deep that way and about 42 wide this way. Okay, I've changed my mind. I realize I can move this lower support over just a couple inches and I can make my bench bigger because both sides can store either bench then. My top is going to be right here. I've started marking it out. I'm going to be 48 inches. And this is going to be my lower, the trusty 3/4 MDF. It's just an old junk piece, as you can see. This is going to be my lower shelf, and I checked with the square. This side right here seems to be the square side, so all my measurements are going to be pulled off of this. I'll get these two cut, get them out of the way, and then work on the framing for the top, framing for the shelf, and then it's assembly at that point. So okay, I've got my 2 measurements here, which are roughly my top workbench, my bottom shelf. So we're 48 for the top by 22, and then we're going to be 3 inches each way smaller, so it's 45 by 19 for the bottom shelf. 45 by 19 is also going to be the framing for the top because I want it to overhang 1.5 inches like this in case I need to clamp anything. So I want to run these long, so these will be 19 inches long for my 2x6s, and then these will be 42 plus the 3 inches of the overhang will give me the full 45 I need. And then the bottom, we're going to be 42 by 19 again, but that shelf is only going to be the size of the actual 2x. It's not going to stick out because that's going to be lower. I don't want it to be impeding me. So I've got 2x6s lined up. I get some measurements. We'll get those squared up, and we'll get ready to cut them and assemble them. But you know it right off the get, battery's dead. Take two. Eye these to keep the crown up, so any deflection you have from weight goes down. That's the strongest way the material functions. Check it for square. We can knock it around a little bit when we put the shelf on. Corner to corner, it's 48 and almost 49. And 48 3/4. So we need to make this a little bit bigger, but it should square up when we put the shelf on. Okay, well, Stan came out with me. Yeah, he was in the house, but everybody else in the house is gone for the day, so he came out with me. So I guess it's the Stan and Jimmy show now. I've got my casters ready to go on. I put masking tape on the bottom of the 4x6s because it's treated, and the new treated has, I think it's copper in it, that will corrode metals that aren't galvanized. So just to deter that, I put that on. Don't know if I needed to, but I had the masking tape, so why not? I've got some washers and some screws because these holes are rather large. But I think I'll get them on once they're on. They're on. Where's it going to go? The weight of the cart is going to hold them on. So I'll get those on, and then I think it'll be easier to slide the bottom shelf on. So, yeah, here we go. Casters are all on. Now I'm going to attach the bottom shelf. So I've got it kind of, the legs mocked up there to hold everything in line. I'm going to go right flush here. And then from there, I'm going to stand it, and I will level the top on to account for any differences in lengths on the legs. So I will attach these and then go from there. All right, I got the bottom on. It rolls really nice. It doesn't seem to be too wobbly. I've got a lot of play in the concrete floor, so that could be it. I can always adjust those. I'm gonna try to wrestle this top on, but it looks a little crooked, so this might be a bit of a fight, maybe not. Run there. We're gonna have to drop on all at once. This one's really fighting. That's in. That's in. Put a screw to catch right there, and I put one on this back side. This leg was my tallest leg, so I'm going to use that as my benchmark to attach the rest of them. So, it doesn't look too bad. I'll probably hit this side first and try to draw it all up. Not too bad. Okay, I'll check it for square, kind of level it up, screw it on, get ready to put the shelves on. Okay, it's pretty much done. I screwed the top down. You can see I pre-drilled everything just so the screws stay below the top. All I have to do is cut that piece to go down there and move a few things around under there, and I'm rolling this thing into the underneath my other bench. And then I gotta get cleaned up out here because there are more projects to take care of. So, all right, I hope this helped. If anybody wanted to build a bench, this gives you a rough idea. I know there's not blueprints, schematics, and a complete play-by-play, but I wanted to make it, so I figured I'd make the video while I was at it. All right, so until next time.